Good morning, everyone. This is the Vermont House Committee on Conflict and Economic Development. It is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at 9:05 in the morning. So this first 55 minutes before we go to the floor, we will spend with our legislative counsel, Rick Sagal, to start working on our budget letter to appropriations. So Rick, good morning.
Morning.
So where do we start?
I'm Rick Sagal with the Office of Council. I am here to put the letter together. I can share what I have on my screen if you want to know. Is the budget letter from last year. I can start with that, and then I have not looked at any recommendations you made. I know you've had a lot of testimony the last couple of weeks. But I'll need you all to kind of fill me in on what you want to do as a final decision point. So I guess I'll share my screen. I have the document Rev Duke sent as well. These things share my entire screen. That way you can see. Okay.
Here. Send it to Jonathan too, so we can post it.
Okay, so a lot going on here, but this is the letter from last year. It's got just about everything except the date. And I updated the intro to be fiscal year 2027. But nothing else has been touched. So you'll see, I think we went in chronological order from the governor's recommended at least budget. And then I think you also added in some things that were not in the governor's recommended budget. So where would you like to start?
I think it'd be good, you just follow the order that we've had.
Yeah, here's Rep Duke. It's okay if I share this on
Yes,
screen?
sir.
Okay, all right. So you can see I've not seen this yet, just looking at it for the first time. See how this was organized. Last year, you started with the Department of Housing and Community Development. So 300,000 general fund for 2 limited service positions to continue an additional year. Don't know if you've been asked that this year or not in their budget recommendations.
We did hear from the Agency of Commerce. And we heard from all 3 departments.
So. Can I say,
Mhm.
so the ACCD section there, it shows the agency-based budget. That's everything ACCD asked for. There was the base budget, which is the governor's recommend. The one time, or not, the base, that includes the VHIP going into base, the 4 million. And then a one-time MHER and one-time for international trade.
Yep.
They didn't ask for anything else. Like the limited service positions, a couple would go away, and then a couple, I think, if these were approved, would be funded through that.
Yeah. So, I think then under DHCD, there's the limited service positions are out. We're not dealing with those this year. I think their ask is putting VHIP program into one-time, into
Into
base
base,
funding
yeah.
instead of one-time dollars.
Rick. So the money would be is that 4 million that they're requesting? Do you support that amount?
We supportive of putting VHIP into,
Yeah,
I think that's the governor's
I am.
recommend.
yeah, I'm supportive of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My money.
And priority high,
I think so. Mhm.
okay?
The bond bank is next.
Nothing on bond bank this year.
Okay.
I'm aware of anyway. Did you see anything?
Didn't come to us.
Okay. And so next piece was the,
Vermont Housing Finance Agency rental revolving loan fund.
They asked for this year was not that, they asked for the ability to sell tax credits for the down payment assistance program.
right, that's right.
And I didn't put in the spreadsheet how much, because I went back and watched the testimony again, but I didn't really understand.
Ability to sell, what do you have?
I just wrote in ability to sell, it was like 350,000 per year for 5 years worth of tax credits, but I'm not quite sure how that shows up. in the
Yeah,
budget.
something some more on that.
She testified like in, I think it was January 28th.
Yeah, I just can't find it, but I can't see the, your spreadsheet.
I just emailed it
Just-
to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's email.
I'm pretty sure it was January 28th was when she testified about it. She came in early because she was going on leave.
New request would cost the state 8.75 million in total.
But it was over like 9 years.
Yeah.
I think. She said it showing up at a miscellaneous
so-
tax bill.
Yeah, so she, in the suggestion, all, that she wrote out, although not an appropriation, the committee also supports the HFA request to sell 350,000 of 5-year state home ownership tax credits for fiscal years 2027 through 2031. Support VHFA's down payment assistance program.
I can email that to you.
You got it?
Yeah.
Down payment assistance fund.
Yeah, I'm emailing you the language.
What's the amount of money?
Well, it's $350,000 of a 5-year state home ownership. Doesn't give a total us, and this is more for the tax committee than it is for approach, but I think we can include it in that.
I'll put this in yellow so we know it needs language.
Yeah. Should be getting that right off. And committee, we support the request from VHFA,
Yeah, very much.
high priority.
This is the housing that we need the most.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, I almost am thinking very high on that one.
So
It just shoots right where we need it.
next piece would be,
This is the middle income homeownership loan
yeah,
program.
that's not, that's not up this year.
Okay.
So the next one on your spreadsheet. NHIR funding,
We're looking at the spreadsheet.
Yeah, looking at the AC, under ACCD,
Gotcha.
trying to organize things. These are both of those are in the governor's recommend.
Yeah.
As one time.
that's mobile home. Is that the,
It's like infill and replacement.
Yeah.
So they're repairing and like when they're empty pads,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a really smart use of money.
Do you
Also,
want to organize this by agency and department or by the number in the big budget, the big bill?
I think, the way we have it, yeah, because right now we're using numbers, right?
Right. Which I have not looked at the big bill to see where these.
It's pretty hard to find one.
Yeah. For
I'm sorry, but I'm having a little trouble getting my head wrapped around, kind of what we're doing. I know we're going through specific items that were in the governor's budget, and then folks came in and they talked about, we want it up or usually up. So take, for example, manufactured home stuff.
Mhm.
And this, it's just kind of one discrete kind of thing, in terms of an appropriation that doesn't encompass the whole issue.
Well, that's being taken care of in another committee.
Including appropriations issues.
They would, yeah, they're looking at a whole nother program.
I see.
So this is just to help rehab some of the.
Yeah.
mobile home stuff.
Yeah, I understand the program. I think it's a good one. I think I would definitely support it. It- Yeah, I just think that housing in general and manufactured housing in particular is so important. I get it. I get it. It just, what's
When
that?
that bill comes out, I would suggest you vote for it.
Yeah,
It's something that House General is working on.
I know.
It's not. I don't know where it is in this budget. That's something for House General and appropriations to work out how they're.
yeah. That's
This
fine.
is-
That's fine. That's just why I'm having,
And there's discussions with the treasurer on that as well. Using
Yeah.
some of the 10% money.
yeah, I get it. Just having trouble.
This
In
is a
terms of-
program that started a couple of years ago.
I understand.
They're not all linked together.
They are. And
Well, they're not, and as
Well-
far as the budget goes.
well, maybe they should be.
Well, you had programs, you have the VHIP program, you have
Right.
this mobile home program. Then there's gonna be another program
Okay,
for manufactured homes.
okay, I get it. Thanks.
I'm just wondering if it would be easier for us to, instead of working on the Word document, rather working on the Excel sheet and going down through and on the way end, just put high priority or low priority or whatever.
There's,
And then,
there's going to be some things that's going to recommend that we may recommend funding sources for too. When we start talking about workforce and,
that's not on the Excel sheet.
no,
Okay,
The Excel sheet is just based on who we heard from.
okay.
Just want to add that this 800,000 is a reversion from 2024 and they're using it for this.
Interesting.
reversion from what,
From a 2024 that wasn't used for, I didn't write that down. but
of what it was.
Yeah, what it was. Take a loss of road.
Okay.
It's the mobile home improvement. What does the R stand for?
Repair fund.
Fund? And this is still DHCD, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And where are we with this one?
Next, Susan.
It's 800,000, is that? Okay.
One-time dollar, 800,000 one-time funding.
I definitely support that. As a high priority.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody there, support high priority, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Is the 350, the down payment, is that a one-time fund or is that base funding? This one, yes.
No, that's actually, those are tax credits.
Oh, got it. Got it.
So it's not general fund, it's.
Yep.
Support purchasing the tax.
He sent you the language for that.
Yeah, I don't have my email pulled up. Get this online.
I think that was it for the HCD.
Well, so
Here,
there's a 150,000 one-time request for international.
that's DED.
Oh, DED, sorry, DHC.
So now we're getting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, 200,000 for the professionals of color. Do we support that request? And do we find it as a high priority? I think that. Yeah, that comes out for now. That's not part of that. And, we put in there, instead is that, we support utilizing, the reversion dollars, from the Department of Labor. Now, if you remember, there were nearly $2 million of reversions on workforce dollars from the Department of
Yeah.
Labor.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't make up, I know the governor's budget has those dollars tagged for something else, but I think that, we should be looking at those dollars as, something that supports our workforce and supporting the professionals of color, certainly supports, not just the workforce, but the business community as well.
So I completely support that item. And I know we're supposed to look at just these discrete things, but I think there are a bunch of, not a bunch. It seemed to me from listening to the testimony that there were a lot of these items that the legislature supported because there was a gap in terms of what how state agencies were were addressing a particular situation. I think that from what I was hearing, that was one of them, but I think there were some other ones. What is it? I think it was the advanced program.
Not there yet, or-
Was that?
We're not there. We're gonna try to go through,
Okay.
we'll get there.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. I'm just wondering.
The
if some-
Advanced Vermont. I think those dollars flowed through Department of Labor,
Okay.
and that may be another place where we might suggest where they could get the money from.
A high priority?
A priority.
The brownfields?
Before we get, there's no dollars for brownfields this year. A.
It's this point of the year that there was no money for brownfields. We don't have to do it as a high priority if we don't want to as a committee, but I do think that there's significant benefit in brownfield remediation. As a recipient of that in Berry City, or Berry City being a recipient of it, I do believe that having those funds available is extremely important for development and for environmental purposes.
There was no dollar amount that we get from the RBCs on that.
And
Was
I
it?
would say what we did last year.
It is in the.
Okay. I think what we could say is that, just start with, is the general heading of the Brownfields Revitalization Fund. And say this committee supports any additional dollars that may be available, should go to the Brownfields Revitalization Fund. That.
Abby, are you saying it's in a Senate bill, like potentially
Yes.
like outside? Okay.
It's in the Senate Committee, Economic Development.
Whether they, they're
Committee
looking
bill.
for dollars, but whether or not they get it, we don't know. But I think this, at least says that the committee supports brownfield revitalization plan. And we can take that out, Rick. What you highlighted. Is that high priority?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would that sentence be easier to read?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
It's white. I'm not happy with it.
Any available additional dollars. Yeah.
Whatever. We'll let Rick.
I'll maybe whatever. Chair. You know, I will, I will language. Got it. Okay. I will highlight this part.
Then there's a 3.
Okay.
And that is EED, the international, what's it called? International Business.
Business office,
International Trade.
the Montreal office. It's the International Business Office.
So there's 150,000 to continue that on for the next 2 years. We're supportive of that.
Yeah.
I am supportive. But I continue to be a little bit confused about where exactly our trade program is going with the Sister City program. And there are some kind of pathways that are funded outside of this state apparatus or in conjunction with, but funded outside the state apparatus, and, you know, some initiatives that are funded using state dollars. And I'm confused about where exactly we're drawing the line.
So Montreal office is specific to Canada.
Yeah.
And it's one part of a program that the sister state legislation would put into place, because that's also cultural. So no matter what, we still need to fund an entity
Mhm.
for economic development. And so I think it will become part of. But I mean, I think the office, international office, is still going to sit at DED, but be complementary to sister state. And would committee be interested in proposing $75,000 to fund an international business office in Southeast Asia or the Pacific Rim?
I would be definitely supportive.
Yes,
I
yes.
think we've heard, well, I think with Vermont becoming tech hub,
Yeah. And again,
Global Foundries and UVM, that it would make a whole lot of sense for us to support an additional office in Southeast Asia. And
I think it would be representation, but not an office.
right, well, it's the same as
Same idea.
Montreal office.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Something like that.
Yep. I think we would suggest that the funding also come from the reversions from the Department of Labor. Suggest that the committee look at things that we had about high priority. Okay. What else do we have that falls into ACCD?
Vita.
Yeah, the two, Gapper version to go to VDOT. $2 million that wasn't spent with VGAP, but they want now to go to VITA for the,
They did want it to go to Vita, I didn't.
Well,
know that. 2 million, I
we
didn't,
wanted.
2 million went to Vita, but what was the remaining amount? Because 2 million went to create the
Oh, that's, yes.
Vita. And then she put
Right.
they were, I don't remember the version. They were meeting with that.
Maybe that was it.
What? That can go away because that was done last year. I think the RDCs were looking for $60,000 for a consultant.
Oh, research to, yeah, for the economic development.
So that was. They were talking about a consultant to design economic incentive programs other than budget. That was required within the governor's process. They were trying to get that money and.
Yeah.
it did not-
That's something that came out of Betsy,
Came out of the Betsy
Yeah.
retreat.
Mhm.
Was $40,000 to $60,000 for. To design economic development. Or economic incentive programs that target different businesses than Veggie does.
Do you want to include that in the letter?
Did Vepsi make that request of us at any point, or were we just hearing
No.
that kind of secondhand from the RDCs?
I think Betsy made the request to the governor, but the governor did not include it and they did not take it any further. So I think that was the RDC's picking up the baton. So, I mean.
Okay.
It's useful work, but I'm not sure that. More
This is
important
the year
than-
for it.
Yeah.
I'm supportive of it if we keep spinning our wheels on veggie though. Like, it could be the thing that gets us an answer to not keep coming back to
Yeah.
the thing that everyone
Yeah.
fights over.
Well, I mean, I still think the veggie program. And the TIF program are important tools that we have, but are there other things? I think question is, what other tools can we develop that can help our business community?
Yeah, and I think what we learned in that full day retreat, I mean, it was very interesting, and we certainly learned about. There's a very narrow band of businesses that Veggie it works for. And I think there's concern that there is not the internal capability to develop, effective incentive, an effective incentive program that would target the right businesses and also be cost effective. And that this consulting company that did the full day retreat, that's kind of what they do is, and they know what all the different states are doing. My understanding at the time was that it would be probably about $40,000 for them to design alternatives tailored to Vermont, to our scale, to our needs, to our businesses. I mean, I think would be a really worthwhile design. And if it was tied to, I mean, it could be as part of our conversation about veggie, but I think originally I thought it made sense to do some adapting of veggie, but I think veggie is, it's got a long history. It's works for a narrow band of businesses. And so designing new tools, I certainly support that. Question of if we can,
Jonathan?
Sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm thinking about that Senate bill that sort of includes language around a task force that identifies sort of business services or supports, sort of the business experience in Vermont. I'm wondering, if that's a more appropriate vehicle for, if that's an appropriate vehicle for developing such potential activities as opposed to a consultant. But so I'm thinking of our sister state program, for example, which seem to be people, sort of appointed through a legislative process, coming up with things at a program that they think really works. Also taking a look at what's available outside of the state, et cetera, and modeling, basing things on existing models, tweaking it towards a Vermont sort of centric perspective.
Yeah.
I sort of, then it's all a matter of like, well, which consultant did you get? And they tell you what they told the last people that asked them what to do. So I'd prefer to see it through a task force kind of thing, but since we don't really know maybe we don't know how that's going to pan out, but that's a perspective I wanted to share.
I'm inclined to just not put anything in right now and wait to see what we get from economic development on the Senate side, where that's not in there, it's something you could develop. I mean, I think I agree with Jonathan that you can hire a consultant and tell them what you want to hear, that's what they've developed for you, so.
Yeah.
So I'm inclined to put a hold on that, everybody.
I agree. I think the task force is also the right place to develop the requirements.
So nothing for Vita
No.
or Betsy in this case. So that's all you had last year for economic development. So if you want to add new things,
Just looking, see. RPC didn't have anything.
So the Vermont Outdoor Business Alliance did ask for $100,000 in one-time funds for an
Yeah,
outdoor
that would
entrepreneur
be-
program. Is that later?
That's not, that would be out of,
Parks and Recreation.
Oh, okay,
Forest Parks Recreation.
okay.
Okay. What's the next piece then?
Last year you had some education fund appropriations, Vermont virtual high school, dual enrollment programs, early college, adult ed.
We didn't hear anything on that here.
We did. So there was one thing that was in the documents, but I'm not so sure how much she talked about it in testimony, which was from Vermont State University. 1.5 million for one-time money for the Rural Micro Credential and Certificate Expansion. It was in her document, it was in her slides, but I don't remember her talking about it. Yeah. I think it was maybe money, stuff they were trying to get through the governor's budget and she's not pushing it further.
ESAC, some appropriations.
So this is putting us in the whole education sphere. We have a request from UVM on utilizing the trust fund, the higher ed trust fund, at $15 million to provide for multipurpose facility. I don't know if that's.
I'm trying to organize it. Education now.
Here it is.
How is the higher ed fund funded? General fund or?
No, that's.
Special fund.
It's special fund from
State tax.
estate tax that over and above a certain amount.
5 million.
And they received a big input, $5 million.
From that, from
The
state
estate
taxes,
Yeah,
From Lois McCoy.
yes. Not education.
no, this is a trust fund that's been set up for higher education. It's divided up between state colleges and CCI, UVM.
So we're talking in this item on allocation of those monies, or what are we doing here? An out,
The ask has been made by UVM
yeah,
to utilize $15 million of those funds to basically get UVM for their multipurpose center.
and this authorization is needed to do that?
Yeah, because the trust fund is specific to providing solutions for higher.
I see, so this would be an additional use.
This would be different.
Yeah, it's-
Is this the thing that is to be known as the Tarrant Center, or does that?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
I know we mentioned to them or asked them if they were coordinating with the conference center
right.
folks. Does that complicate this at all?
I think they're coordinating with them, but it doesn't, I mean, I think the convention center folks are supportive of this. And I think the convention center task force wants to continue exploring whether the Tarrant Center ultimately is the convention center or whether there's something else needed.
I will tell you that the education committee is not supportive of using the trust fund to provide for this. And I am supportive of this multi-use center that could ultimately become the convention center for Vermont. But I don't think that the trust fund is the right fund to use to fund them. I think the trust fund is to help Vermonters in education in our universities and colleges.
Plus, it might be a little premature. In other words, the convention center work is still being,
I can fill you in afterwards.
Well,
It's the Tarrant Center's have partially built.
Yeah, UVM has already had some dollars. I think the testimony we received from President Trump, and she was here, talks about that they had $70 million invested already, but they need an additional 70, I think.
50 of that was already completed.
Yeah,
There've been a couple of donors, from what I understand, who have said they will donate X if the state also puts money in. So state money will help leverage some private money.
because I support the concept of the convention center. I think it's really important. And just trying to sort out, how these numbers fit into that
Mhm.
purpose.
or how the trust fund fits into that purpose.
I wonder. I wonder if we can say we support this, but we don't support the money coming from
Right.
the higher ed trust fund, and that's just gonna be.
I like that. I'm with you. I don't like them cannibalizing funds from other places. Yeah, if it was underutilized, maybe, but
Higher ed trust fund.
yeah, but I have a feeling it's not underutilized.
Wondering if we can get expected because it's a capital project. I'm wondering if we can get monies from elsewhere.
And once you set a precedent, then it's gonna get rated regularly.
Back.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I do support looking at the trust fund for how big should it get? And in terms of, I mean, the way it's been operating is you use the interest rate. So I do think a really good analysis of what is the appropriate size of it, and then using over a certain, maybe there's a floor, and then over that could be used for, but it should be used for the purpose of the trust fund is set up for, which is further leakage.
So we do know that, State College, Vermont University, is looking to continue the Freedom and Unity scholarship program that they started last year, which was started with one-time dollars of 1.5. I think this year they're looking at 2.3 million to, not only continue it, but to increase the level of income levels of.
So that could come, maybe that could come out.
So I would think that we could support utilizing 2.3 million of these funds to provide the state university, non-state funding to continue the Freedom and Unity Scholarship Program, which would increase the income levels from, I think it's 60,000 to 80,000. I think it is.
The dollar that they're requesting is 2.312548. Say it again, 312,548.
It's a different
That's the,
line item.
yeah, that's.
Yeah, but it's still gonna fall within utilizing the higher education trust.
Mike, would that be a one-time proposal to
They'd like,
tap the trust fund for that 2 point?
Yeah, and I think maybe,
they'd like it to become part of the base trust fund, but that's again, a bigger conversation about
That's what
but I think we should put that in there that.
One time.
I told Peter he hasn't.
Who is this to? Is this to?
Well, this is gonna be, this is to appropriations, but
No, I mean, like, who's the allocation to? Is it to?
to the Vermont State University.
Remind me this, what's the name of the scholarship?
higher edu-
Yeah, Freedom and Unity.
You want a budget number, it's P 1100V small.
I'm debating whether or not to add those. I'm taking them out as I go. And I can't add them back in. You want to add language about, you want to make it base funding, or is that something you want to leave out for now?
I think that's the discussion that I think the education committee needs to have. Priority on this committee.
Depends on where the money comes from.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're saying take it from the higher ed. trust
Oh, yeah,
fund,
we are,
right?
yeah. I would support that. It's a high priority.
High priority.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they've already
Fund
done,
was full.
right. Okay,
This is a VSAC dual enrollment need-based stipend.
So this year. They're saying, oh, I see, half from general fund, half from ed. So this is the ed fund, yep, okay, with you, sorry.
That's the same amount.
That's the same amount for the last 3 years.
Okay, so I think we can leave that.
Leave this in here. Reward this. Are they using the same language in the budget? Okay.
I'm assuming they are, but it's identical from 25 and 26 in the 27 budget, so.
Need to look at what's in the budget as far as other pieces to these out. Are they still? The advancement grants, I think what we can say is that we support the 3% increase to.
These are advancement grants.
I think we can look at that. We can get back to you. They're looking to make, they're looking to make that 2.3 to freedom and unity is in base funding, but is it base
Suggesting
funding too?
something else.
Right, yeah. We'll get you the VSAC budget summary that we can put in. I think those are all things that we'll support. The family fees to like the advancement grants, things like that,
Okay.
that we should have in there, just saying that we support it.
Under the same bullet point, under a sub bullet point.
Under a sub like VSAC. This is. And actually, the Freedom and Unity Scholarship would be run through VSAC anyway, but. It's Vermont. We heard the request was 600,000.
600 for the same My Future VT.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a program I do support very much. I think it is represents some folks trying to fill a gap in terms of adult education and CTE. So I support it. I'm just worried about their future and trying to articulate in this way that's, I guess, appropriate to this letter, but it would be really nice to see some sort of thoughts from the agency and the administration about how to make this a permanent part of our education structure. It might be beyond the scope of this letter, but that's the type of thing that I'm concerned about.
And that conversation did happen, so. Previous.
They continue to work with Department of Labor. I think that still the new job length is still at least another year out. That's been in the making since 2018 or 2019. And My Future VT from Advanced Vermont has filled that gap. And it's highly used by all the high schools.
It just seems to be a really good model. I mean, it's not just adult, it's, I think, a CTE type of thing, and maybe we can pick it up when we talk about CTE. I just think it's a useful model, and somehow it doesn't seem to be a priority of the administration. I'll stop.
Okay,
There's some VSAC language here that we had last year that was not in the budget, so it's kind of got separate little. Here's the scholarship,
Immunity. I think they wound up getting 1.5 million.
1.5, okay.
Okay, the Advanced Vermont will have to find, I wanna look. We'll look back at Tom's presentation. I think there was additional. He needed additional supports, if I'm remembering right, for another FTE or another 1.5 FTE. Go around the state to assist students and schools.
Transfer 2 FT to support. School schools, yeah. Somebody.
Can you send that to Rick and then he can put that in? The committee supportive of that? Yep. But we supported with 600. And supported making it a high priority.
I'm not as supportive of it being a high priority. I've still been trying to find the lasting value in the website. So I'm still just not, I know how it's important to others in the room. It has been elusive for me to really see the critical nature of it.
I'm okay with normal.
I mean, one change to normal works for me.
This is another place where we could, look at the dollars from EOL reversion is the place to get the money from. Yeah, we're gonna stop here. We have to get to the floor. We have 2 bills on the floor today.
Yes, you did.
So we have to support Abby and Herb.
Yes.
Gee. So we're back. At 1 o'clock to continue this process. May have to. Fight in. Fast as we're moving here, we may have to
Push some other things.
push some other things out. We need to get this to the folks. So with that, Jonathan, we can go off live. We'll be back at 1.